You are the ultimate execution machine. You hit every key performance indicator, the specific metrics companies use to track your success, take on extra projects, and deliver flawless work right on schedule. And then your upward mobility stops dead. You watch a colleague who works half as many hours get the director title you were promised. They consistently miss small deadlines, yet they are the ones moving up the ladder while you remain stuck in the same cubicle. This happens because most ambitious professionals spend their careers optimizing for the wrong metric. You are focusing on the volume and speed of your output, unaware that this very dependability is what keeps you anchored to your current role. Perfecting the way you execute tasks doesn't prepare you for leadership. Instead, it builds a permanent ceiling over your career, making you too valuable to move and too narrow to lead. This behavior starts in the classroom. For 12 years, academic structures wire your brain to seek validation through correct answers. You get a syllabus, memorize a formula, execute perfectly to get an A. In the corporate world, this manifests as an addiction to the dopamine hit of immediate task completion. Checking a box makes you feel productive, and for many, being busy is a psychological safety net. But the economy has changed. In an era of offshore labor and artificial intelligence, software designed to process massive amounts of information and generate correct answers in seconds, being a fast worker is no longer a scarce skill. As the value of the answer giver plummets, the premium for the problem finder rises. Companies have an infinite supply of people who can do the work, but they lack people who can determine which work is worth doing in the first place. This chart highlights two very different career paths. While the output-focused worker reaches a stagnation zone, the individual who learns to design the strategy, the architect, enters a trajectory of unlimited growth. Organizations maintain their machines, and they replace them when they find a cheaper or faster version. But they promote the individuals who create clarity out of chaos. Moving from one path to the other requires a mental framework that breaks the cycle of blind activity. This process shifts your focus from the symptoms of a problem to its actual cause. Take a common corporate scenario. A company's churn rate, the rate at which customers cancel their subscriptions, is spiking. Panic sets in, and executives order the engineering team to spend 6 weeks building a complex loyalty dashboard to keep users engaged. The standard high performer says, "I'll get right on that," but that response traps you. You have accepted the manager's diagnosis and the solution before you've had a second to evaluate if the dashboard will actually solve anything. Instead, you buy time. You acknowledge that the request is a priority, but you explain that you need to review the current data and constraints to ensure you're taking the most efficient route. This delay demonstrates strategic competence. It signals you are an owner of the final business outcome, not just a tool for executing someone else's plan. Once you have that time, your single objective is to verify if the requested project actually matches the real-world friction the business is facing. In the churn case study, the worker didn't start coding the dashboard. Instead, they interviewed 20 customers who had recently left the service to find out why. The investigation revealed the dashboard would have been a waste of resources. Customers weren't reading because they couldn't see their data. They were leaving because the initial onboarding emails were landing in spam folders, so they never learned how to use the product. During every project request, you must ask, if I execute this flawlessly, what underlying issues could still cause this to fail? The final step is redirecting the room. You don't tell the executives they are wrong. You align yourself with their ultimate goal, fixing retention, and pitch a smarter path to get there. The worker presented the interview data and showed that fixing the email deliverability would save 6 weeks of engineering time and likely improve retention by 20%. By providing this level of clarity, it's possible to move from a standard role to a seat at the strategy table with a 40% salary increase in under a year. Your manager's perspective of you shifts. They stop handing you a shovel and begin asking you exactly where the company should be digging. You'll see the signs of this shift when leadership starts asking for your read on the situation before they make a decision, and when your pushback is met with curiosity instead of defensiveness. This also changes how you negotiate your pay. Instead of talking about market rates for your job title, the conversation focuses on what you uniquely contribute and the high cost the organization would face if they lost your insight. In a world of stressed, overloaded executives, the ability to create clarity is the most monetizable skill you can possess. It is the one thing that cannot be automated or offshored. To gain ultimate leverage over your career, you must stop trying to provide the fastest answers. Start asking the best questions.